August 15th, 1945. The world took one step back and slowly realized it was finally over.
That day we were told we were civilians again, and we were out of uniform, and that's what happened. The war was over.
Today in Ottawa, veterans came together to remember the 70th anniversary of the end of World War II.
Are you going to salute these men? Go ahead.
As one generation watches, the younger generation marches by in their honor.
There are veterans today.
In Asia, Canadians were involved in the Battle of Hong Kong and for the oil fields of Burma.
Now, it's not just a matter of correcting history. It's a matter of reminding Canada that 2,500 young Canadians went to Hong Kong and some 550 didn't come back. It's a matter of reminding Canadians that 6,000 to 7,000, perhaps 8,000 Canadians fought against the Japanese in Burma.
To so many of our people today, it is a forgotten story. Minister Aaron O'Toole of Veterans Affairs Canada.
We will remember them means that we have a duty to ensure that remembrance means that we strive to understand who these men and women were, where they served, and how they answered the call of service to Canada and often left the safety of their country to support our allies and our beliefs far from our shores.
Some groups and associations do their part, dedicating time and effort to honor the veterans.
The purpose of the association was started back in the latter 1990s, and its intention is to commemorate the story of the Hong Kong veterans as the Hong Kong veterans are getting older, and there's only actually 25 of them left out of the 1977 that went over to begin with. So the idea is to continue the story and keep the story alive for generations to come so that they understand what Canada did for both the British colony of Hong Kong and the fact that they were there to protect Canadians' rights.
Since the end of the war, Canadian veterans like George Peterson had been waiting for an apology from the Japanese for years.
So I was asked if the apology come through, would I consider going back to Japan? And I said if I had to crawl that far, I would.
Even after all these years, his words of wisdom cannot betray his anger still deep within his heart. It was a terrible time. It was war, and as one aggressive nation takes to the battlefield, it usually leads to the same result: human misery and unparalleled destruction.
But in the second camp, we suffered an epidemic of diphtheria, and that's of course a fatal disease if you don't have the medication, if you don't have the antitoxin. And the Japanese refused to bring the antitoxin into the camp, so we suffered a great number of losses of life because of diphtheria. Up to 5 a day died of diphtheria until the Japanese relented and brought the serum into camp.
The youth of today can only imagine what the veterans went through, but it is something that can never be forgotten.
Thank you for what you've done, veterans. Thank you so much, and for what those who will follow in your footsteps will achieve.
There are times when we wonder, what was the war all about? And it comes down to one thing: learning from our past, using these experiences to teach future generations the importance of dialogue, the importance of wisdom.
So do you have words of wisdom for them, Dad? For their future? I'll take that.
They're supposed to be a wise man, but I can say be good citizens and always do the right thing.
From the beginning of the Second World War to the final days of this global struggle against tyranny, Canada's contribution in the Pacific and the Far East was profound and lasting. More Canadians need to learn about the service of thousands of Canadians in the Far East and the Pacific so that we can live up to our pledge we make to remember.